The main reason, one of the things I really don't like about postmodernism is that it doesn't say what it's trying to say clearly. It doesn't say it in plain English. Now, to be fair, philosophy is very hard to put into plain English, but if you make an effort, you can at least get pretty close. And in fact, one thing you can do is anytime you use jargon or kind of a big word, you can take a moment to explain the weird word you just used. Or you can go into a lot of detail about what you're saying so that it's very clear. The problem is they don't do that in postmodernism. Like, I'm trying to read this postmodernist book, John Baudrillard, Simulacra and Simulation. And this book, it would really benefit from an appendix that would like have a huge list of like just definitions of words, because the thing is that he spends too much time trying to be poetic, or she does. I don't know. Jean's kind of a unisex name. I don't know much about this person. Anyway, too much time being poetic, and I really wish this book would try to be as clear as possible. Although, to be honest, this book is thin, and if it tried to say everything clearly, or at least if it stopped being poetic, it'd be a lot shorter, because it takes a long time to say simple things. And here's an example. This is what I've been trying to read this book for like years now, and I'm only on 61 because I just can't handle it. This is where I'm at right now, and this is a page from this book. The Bubar Effect, Implosion and Deterrence. The Booberg Effect, the Booberg Machine, the Booberg Thing. How to give it a name. Enigma of this carcass of flux and signs of networks and circuits. The final impulse to translate a structure that no longer has a name. The structure of social relations given over to superficial ventilation. Animation, self-management, information, and media. And to an irreversibly deep implosion. Monument to the games of mass simulation. The Pompidou Center functions as an incinerator, absorbing all the cultural energy and devouring it. A bit like the Black Monolith in 2001. Insane convection of all the contents that came there to be materialized, to be absorbed and to be annihilated. All around, the neighborhood is nothing but a protective zone, remodeling, disinfection, a snobbish and hygienic design. But above all, in a figurative sense, it is a machine for making emptiness. It is a bit like the real danger nuclear power stations pose. Not lack of security, pollution, explosion, but a system of maximum security that radiates around them. The protective zone of control and deterrence that extends slowly but surely over the territory. A technical, ecological, economic, geopolitical glaciers. What does the nuclear matter? The station is a matrix in which an absolute model of security is elaborated, which will encompass the whole social field, and which is fundamentally a model of deterrence. It is the same one that controls us globally, under the sign of peaceful coexistence and of the simulation of atomic danger. The same model, with the same proportions, is elaborated at the center. Cultural fission, political deterrence. This said, the circulation of fluids is unequal. Yeah, it tries too hard to be poetic. It's not very clear what it's trying to say. Although, in simple English, it seems like what Baudrillard is just trying to say there is that there's this thing called the Bubar Effect, or I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. And the whole idea is that society can quickly get itself in a false sense of security. It can simulate security so we all feel safe. So yeah, it can create this simulation of just massive safetiness, but by its very nature there's danger no matter what. Like in the nuclear power plant, there's a seeming sense and symbol of security, but the plant could still melt down and just destroy everything. So yeah, he could have said it plainly in clear English, or she. I don't know the person very well. So it seems like it could have been said very plainly what the idea was, and it could have been said with a lot less words. But no, this postmodernism. I've read in other books too. They seem to attempt too much to be poetic. Like, I don't read philosophy for entertainment. I don't read it to go, ooh, this is kind of neat. I read it so that the ideas themselves can make me go, whoa, that's a really good idea. I don't read it to go, this is so fun to read. Like, it's the ideas that are important, not the way the ideas are packaged. So all I care about is that they're packaged in a clear, easy to understand snippets. And if it's too difficult to put in the clear things, try your best. Make it to where if I read it a few times, I'll get it. So I don't know. A lot of hipster types probably. This is probably why postmodernism is so popular among English majors. English majors are a lot more friendly to the idea of poetry and writing things in a poetic and interesting manner, and hence they'd probably prefer postmodernism, or at least they'd prefer its style of writing, because its style of writing is this poetic, trying to be pretty sounding way, rather than just, this is how it is, here's the ideas, right there, look at them. I don't know. Does anyone else notice this about postmodernism? That it's not obscurantism. They're not obscuring their ideas that you can't figure out what they are so they can just sound right without you understanding what they're saying. It's just that they attempt to be all poetic and hipster about every philosophy rather than objective and scientific minded when it comes to doing philosophy.